Hi, I'm Kushan Mitra, automotive journalist with ThePrint, and I'm here in Chakrata for season 1 of Trails and Tales with Maruti-Suzuki and ThePrint. The Chakrata Valley is not the most explored valley in Uttarakhand, but from here you can see the mighty northern range behind you, where both the Ganga and Yamuna spring from. Chakrata, of course, is famous for being the base of the Frontier Fighting Force, India's special forces on the northern border. But this Jimny has been taking us everywhere. We came yesterday 7 hours from Delhi with this car, doing very good time because this car can take the rough and the smooth thanks to its fantastic suspension and beautiful fuel economy, very honestly. So let's discover a lot more of Chakrata, the views and the waterfalls, and see what the town has to offer on Trails and Tales. So we are on our way from Chakrata to the famous Tiger Falls. I have no idea why they are famous. I've never seen them before. From what I've read, these are one of the highest direct waterfalls in the Himalayas. We are discovering on Trails and Tales, making new trails to tell new tales. And we're taking the Jimny down there, down these lovely winding roads outside Chakrata here in northern Uttarakhand. So let's get to Tiger Falls. These are the famous Tiger Falls outside Chakrata in northern Uttarakhand. Really worth the drive. Very few other cars other than the Jimny can come down here. It's late November and I'm being washed over by cold spray, so I'm not going to be brave enough and dive into the water. These waterfalls look absolutely fantastic. You can see the rainbows forming as the water comes down. The water is very cold. I drank a bit as well because it's fresh mineral water. What a place. What a wonderful waterfall. Not very touristy at all out here in Chakrata. There are some tourists here, but Chakrata is one of those undiscovered hill stations in Uttarakhand. But with the Jimny, it becomes very possible to drive down all the way about 200 meters from Tiger Falls. And you've come here for Maruti-Suzuki Trails and Tales with the new Jimny. Do come to these famous Tiger Falls. So we're driving through Chakrata. Now Chakrata has always been famous for being the home base of the Special Frontier Force, the Fighting Fifth, a fully Tibetan regiment of the Indian Army which often fights on our northern border with China. And well, the army has some of the best views of the mountains in Chakrata, but that doesn't mean if you're driving through you don't get spectacular views. We're coming down from Chakrata market, going back towards the post office side, and you've got great views of the hills and the valleys beyond and the Himalayas beyond that as well. It's a really nice place to drive, and that is where the Jimny actually comes to the fore. Now the roads over here on the whole have been very good, at least the major roads. This is National Highway 707A. So the road is very high quality, but when we went down to Tiger Falls, the road was patchy at best and everybody was having to brake hard to go over the really rough patches, whereas this Jimny just charges right through them. I haven't had to use four-wheel drive at all today because there's never been a situation where I've needed four-wheel drive, but I really like the rugged nature of the Jimny, and I've got all the creature comforts I could possibly want with Apple CarPlay, playing my music. I've got a fully digital display over here, and It's great. I'm having a great time driving the Jimny over here. This is the natural habitat of the Jimny after all. The town centre of Chakrata is quite small. It isn't as crowded as the vast expanses of Mussoorie or Shimla, but has just a few shops and restaurants. At the shops, you can buy the local produce. And the famous local produce is, of course, Rajma. You can get large red beans, you can get black beans, and you can get white beans. And the restaurants, well, of course, they serve you Rajma Chawal. You can also get some momos and some noodles because the Special Frontier Forces personnel come into town for a lot of their meals, and you get some Tibetan specialities as well. Here, driving through Chakrata town, you can get some spectacular views of the northern range of the Himalayas behind me. The best thing about the Maruti-Suzuki Jimny is that it can deal with whatever the mountains throw at it. And I did not even need to use four-wheel drive, even though every Jimny sold has that option. On our way down the mountain, our resort owner looked at us and said, "Sir, ye gaadi to kisi bhi raste se chal jayegi, aap isko le jaiye." And that road was rough with loose rock and stone and gravel and mud all over the place. But the Jimny powered through it, and we didn't even feel a thing thanks to the advanced suspension of the vehicle. As the sun sets over Sunset Valley in Chakrata, I'd like to thank all of you for being part of the Print and Maruti Suzuki's Trails and Tales Season 1, where we've come to Chakrata. We've discovered this wonderful hill station in the Uttarakhand today, been to several places. If you can, you must come here. Keep watching the Print for more awesome automotive content. Thank you again, and don't go away just yet. There is a little surprise at the end of the video just for you. So on our way down from Chakrata, we've come to Kalsi. Kalsi is the place where the Yamuna comes off the foothills and into the plains. Behind me is something very unique. It is the only surviving edict of the great Emperor Asoka in North India. And these are the 14 edicts that lay down the rules that Asoka spread across his great empire. And as I've said in so many previous videos you've done, history is all around you in India. You just have to throw a stone and you'll find something historic. And this is one of them. It's a small little ASI protected area. Wow, I'm actually genuinely grateful for seeing this.